Hi everybody, welcome back to Flames Pyro Art for Beginners. Continuing with the horse portrait at the moment. Seems to have gripped me, should we say, and I've been working on this piece for a little time now, and I just wanted, I don't know if anybody was burning along with me on this horse, but I'm at a point now where I'm at his back leg, and I call it a him, it could be he or a she because I left the bits of it out, but on the picture I think it was a he. Now when we're looking to create more depth with a pyrography art, it's all about darker areas and lighter areas. When we want to set, say, this back leg back, we need to really darken it up and push it down into the wood, and so it takes many layers to really darken the leg up, to give it the perception from this front leg that it is actually further away. And that's how we do this, just by the depth of tonal value that we use. When I say the tonal value, I mean the shade of burning. We let more heat get absorbed into the wood as we push this leg further and further back. And right here, where it meets the body, it's going to be really dark, isn't it? There's not going to be much light, unless you had a spotlight down here, sun was shining in. There's not going to be any light coming in to this area of the leg. So this is where you have to push past that. I suppose it's a fear. I know it was a fear I had for quite a while, fear of going too dark. We don't want to char the wood, you know, that would just ruin your piece. What we're looking doing is just kissing over the surface and gradually building more and more darkness and depth of shading into the wood, and it will absorb it deeper and deeper and give the onlooker the perception that this leg is actually further away from the eye than this one. And so, like I said, it's all done with the tonal value, which is, like I said, it's just a shade of burning. Also try and think how the horse's leg would be shaped. If you get your picture that you're working from, if you are working from a picture, you can change some of the settings in the picture. You could change the saturation and the brightness and the contrast, the exposure, whatever, and it would show you the detail that's actually in this back leg that is so dark on the picture that you can't really see much detail. I did look at it through one of my other photo editors, and I saw there was some detail there that I wouldn't have been able to see without playing with a picture. And don't be afraid to just keep layering up over and over. Like I said, just kissing over the surface. This small rounded coarse hair pen seems to be the most favourable pen. for creating this horse, I've tried several pens on it, and each time every other pen just hasn't seemed to quite do what I was looking for, and it's always led me back to this small rounded coarse hair pen. So I think this, in my opinion, is the best pen to use to try and create horse's hair. I've got my heat setting at 3, which is medium high for this pen. It's giving a relatively deep burn stroke. As you can see, over time, the more layers you add, it will just keep pushing that leg further and further back. So pyrography is a lot about patience, and trust me, from how long I've spent on this horse up to now, it's given me another great lesson in patience. This is maybe week, I think this is coming near to the end of week 2 or 2.5 of trying to create this horse, because like I said, it was a completely new venture for me. Never tackled anything on this level before, and I wanted to see how far I could push myself. The jury's still out as to what I will create. I don't know if it's going to be a flop or a success, but I'm just going to keep working at it and see where we get to. But this was just one of those little moments where I could just show you how to set things looking like they're further off in the distance, and it's just simply by layering up over and over, go much darker than this front leg. And the great thing with wood is it will absorb the heat, and it gives a perception of depth, and that's what we're all striving for with a pyrography art, is depth. Every artist, I suppose, whatever medium they use, we're all striving to capture more depth. You know, we don't want images to look flat. So this is one that would really test your abilities. If you go to the video where I start the horse wood burn, and if you want to take the image, take a screenshot of it, print it off, transfer it to your wood and have a go. It might be something you'll pick up and down over, you know, several weeks, you know, just a couple of hours here and there if you like. For me, this one has completely gripped me, and it's been my main focus now for a while, as I experiment more and more with my own journey into pyrography art. I just keep working over and over. And after a period of time, that leg will look like it's set further back. I mean, there's all this bit to consider as well. Yeah, there's this part of the chest which right back here where the back of the chest is, that has to go dark as well, because that's one of the further points. So that's what we're looking to do all the time, is push things back. You have your nearest point, which, say for this example on this picture, is this front leg, and around here looks to be the nearest thing to me. So everything else from that needs to go back. And so the way we do it is just keep going over and over each area and just keep building the depth. And hopefully when you get to the end, you will look like you've got a more 3D image, 3D piece of art. I'll keep working this front leg for a few minutes on camera, and you can see what I have been doing with burn stroke. So a lot of this horse has had to go on, well, nearly all of it has had to go on time lapse. Believe me, you would not want to have sat through all of this project. You just sat there for weeks with me. So, time lapsing is a wonderful thing, and my wife steered me on to was time lapsing. When I started this journey, near 2 years ago, I'd heard of time lapse because my wife used it for her art, but I never dreamt that I would be using it. Here we are 2 years on, and I'm having to time lapse most of this piece of art. What I'm trying to do here with these strokes pulling down in this direction is to sort of try and build, the leg isn't flat, is it? It's rounded. So you need to try and capture that as well. So what I do is I start at the back and pull my stroke round. Try and build some sort of roundness. Same here, coming down the leg. When you lift off with your pen for a second, the heat builds up, and so that's why with the strokes with this pen I found best just to lift off, like just dab, and it will just build that little bit of heat back into the pen. before you touch down again. Anybody who's having a go at tackling this horse as well, I wish you all the best with your journey with this horse. To me, time is not an issue. I'm not bothered if it takes me 6-7 weeks or whatever to create the piece of art. I just want to do the best job I can. And because, as I said, I haven't got a degree in art or studied art at college or anything like that, I'm just having to learn as I burn. And I said every hour of burning is an hour of learning, and that's the journey I've been on. Just practice. You're not always going to get it right. But as you keep practicing, your skills will improve more and more. If you can pull off wood burning an amazing horse, then be super proud of yourself, because I've found it really difficult so far on this journey. But I know it's going to stand me in good stead for future projects. All the hours in the bank of practice is something you can't buy, something you can't really be taught. It's just something you have to do yourself. You have to be willing to put the hours in. If you want to get, if you want to try and capture amazing results, you have to be prepared to study. See, with these strokes I'm doing now, they're just under stroke, they're undercoat strokes, are just like the base layer, so I'm not really overly concerned about them at the minute, because this is just going to go so dark, this area, that hopefully you will see some variation in the muscles. But it's got to go really dark to push it back. So that was all I wanted to really explain today with wood burning a a realistic looking horse. So when you get to stuff like the back leg, push yourself through that stage of you don't want to burn too dark. Just keep pushing through, go darker and darker, and really set the leg back, and that will give you, hopefully, a more three-dimensional piece of art at the end. Okay, so happy burning, everybody. I hope you're all enjoying your own pyrography, and then we'll switch back to the time lapsing of this horse experiment. If I come across any more key elements that I can tell you about, I will do a little brief video. The stuff like, say, I'll just quickly mention here under the belly. No, here under this front leg, there's going to be no light, so that is just dark. It's just darkness under there. Then in the far reaches of the horse's body, we have to go darker. So all along here, this is the very far end of the very far side of under the belly of the horse, has to be the darkest, to give the eye the illusion that there is depth. And also you have to start gradually coming from the darkest and just coming shades lighter and lighter as you come out to the side of the horse's stomach area. So that's another area you have to think about with a horse. Now you've not just got his back, his side and legs to contend with, you've also got the underbelly of the horse to think about. What I found is it's all about just the different depths of shading to give you the perception that, I said, that one good trick is when you've done what you think is an adequate amount of shading, take a picture with your mobile phone and have a look, and it will give you a completely different perception and view of what you've done, and you'll be able to see then, no, actually I need to go dark, or that's spot on there, and you know, I don't need to work that area anymore. So that is one good trick that I did learn some time ago. I can't remember who it was who said to me, take pictures of it on your phone and have a look, and it will show you a completely different view of what you've done. So I'll keep plugging away and we'll see where we get to with this horse after I've done these back legs and tail, and we've got the mane to do. There's still a lot of work to do on it. Like I said, I'm going to time lapse the whole journey from start to finish. What I'll do when I've finished it is I will slow the time lapse down. I've time lapsed all of the many hours I've spent up to now, and I'll slow it down a little bit, and hopefully it'll show you some of the work that's gone into trying to create this horse. Okay, so I shall see you all in the next episode. If there's anything else, like I said, we can learn in this horse piece of art, then I will do so. Otherwise, I will see you in the next project. Okay, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave me a like or hit subscribe if you want to see future content on the channel. I do like to do as many different themes of wood burning as possible to try and broaden our depth of knowledge. So I don't just stick to horses and animals, we do all sorts of different wood burns to try and build up our experience with the pyrography pens. So I shall see you in the next chapter. Take care everybody, have fun, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.